everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm making soy garlic chicken wings. So if you guys want to know how to make this, please hit that subscribe button and watch me cook. Now I know this is probably more than I normally like to do, but it'll be worth it in the end, or at least for my family it was. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start off with our cookie sheet first, and we're going to go ahead and line this. Why? Because it's going to get sticky and messy and gooey, and it's just for easier cleanup. So all I did was just go ahead and evenly line this on top of my cookie sheet so that I can make sure I have all of my sides wrapped and covered. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is grab a large pot and throw in 3 pounds of chicken wings. Mine were frozen. I threw them right in there, put enough water to cover over it, and we're going to boil this for about 10 to 15 minutes. After your 10 or 15 minutes, this is how it should look by the end of this, and what you see here is a layer of fat coming up and anything that we don't want. And what this is doing also is keeping it from having to cook in the oven for as long as it is, and to thin out some of the skin so we won't have it as soggy when we put our sauce on top. Next, grab your colander and we're going to go ahead and drain all of this. Be careful with this because it is going to be super hot at this point, and all we're going to do is grab some tongs, and let me show you now. Here you see that it is not cooked through all the way, and again you can see as well with the chicken skin here, it is a little bit thinner, so it's not going to be super fatty and it's not going to be super juicy when it comes out of the oven. Just go ahead and rinse off anything extra and all the gunk that's on there that we don't want, and you're going to do this with every single one of these chicken wings, so be careful and take your time. Once you are done rinsing everything off, go ahead and keep your tongs. It'll still be warm, but what we're going to do is use paper towels or use a tea towel, whichever you prefer. We're just going to squeeze the excess water out of it. What this does is keep it from getting super soggy in your oven while it's cooking on a cookie sheet. You're going to want to do this with every single chicken wing, and then when you're done with that, place them all into a large Ziploc bag because we're going to add our cornstarch into that later. I did go through several paper towels for this, so be prepared to use a lot of paper towels, or just go ahead and use your tea towels for this as well. Now once we have them all dried and put inside of our large Ziploc bag, all I'm using is 1/4 cup of cornstarch. You guys can use potato starch as well if you would like. Just throw that right into the bag, shake it in there evenly, and then make sure that we can go ahead and close this up, keeping the air in there as well. We don't want to just remove all the air, so that we can shake it around. Please make sure your zip bag is fully sealed, otherwise you're going to have a giant mess that you don't want to have to deal with later. But shake this around for about a minute or so and try to get every single one of these wings coated as evenly as possible. Once you're done shaking everything up, go ahead and just dump it right out on top of your cookie sheet. Then separate them, lining them as evenly as you can to make sure they all fit onto your pan. Once everything is aligned, this is what we're going to season it with our salt and pepper to taste. I did add a little bit of salt to it. I didn't add too much just because we are using some soy sauce and that already is salty itself. So you don't want to add too much. Again, just do this to taste. You can do it on both sides if you like. I stuck with one side because that's really all I needed for mine. Everything goes exactly the same when you start adding your pepper. Just evenly distribute this all the way around. And again, flip it if you'd like. If you don't want to, you don't need to. And before you guys have started any of all of this, make sure your oven is preheated to 425 degrees. Once your oven is ready to go, we're going to cook it for 20 minutes for the first round. Now let's start making our sauce. I am starting off with 1/3 cup of water, and then I'll be using my gluten-free tamari soy sauce. You guys can use the regular kind if you would like. I'll be adding Splenda in mine. You guys can use sugar or use honey to make the honey soy garlic chicken wings instead, but that's just not good for me and you guys know why. So we're using Splenda in place of this just to cut down on me passing out. Add 4 cloves of minced garlic. You guys know mine's already pureed, so I'm adding about what would be about 4 garlic cloves. Grab a tablespoon of ginger. You guys know how I keep mine in the freezer, so it's going to be a little bit harder. So I went ahead and peeled it, I cut it, and I found it difficult to chop, so I went ahead and just broke it up with the back of the knife. Once you have that, go ahead and start mincing it so it'll be a lot easier for it to cut through. Just in case you guys missed it, here I go again, smashing it with the back of my knife because it was frozen. That's why I'm doing it this way. And then we're just going to mince it. Once you're done with the second half, go ahead and put them together, give it a few more rough chops and throw them right into your pot. We are going to let this come to a boil and let it sit there for the duration remaining of the time of the chicken in the oven. Did that make sense? We're going to go with that. You guys will see what I mean as we continue cooking along into this video. Your sauce will look liquidy, but as it cools, it will thicken. It will thicken more so with the use of honey. If you're using the sugar or Splenda, it doesn't thicken as much, so continue boiling it until you get it to a little bit thicker than what it looks like beforehand. Alright, our chicken's out the first time. All we're going to do is go ahead and flip every single one of these little chicken wings around, and we have the skin side that isn't cooked showing. This will go in the oven for a total of 3 times. If it's already been in there once, we're going to flip these around. We're going to put our sauce on there. We're just going to brush it right on top, and then we're going to throw these right back into the oven for another 10 minutes. So evenly coat all the chicken wings, and you're still going to have some sauce left. More than half of your sauce will be remaining so that we can use it after the second time pulling it out of the oven. And then you're going to coat it again, and you'll have that extra for anybody else that wants to dip more into it if they want to. So here's our second time, same temperature, 425 for another 10 minutes. Take it right back out, flip them all over, exact same thing that we did before, and then we're going to go ahead and coat them again with the remainder of the sauce. And please be careful when you guys are using these ovens and putting things in and out several times at the temperature it is set at, because I did burn my hand, and that's why you guys didn't get a video last week. It was too painful. So I am still in the healing process. It's starting to get really ugly, so it's going to start healing soon. But I did make this video a while ago, and now it's finally going up. Now remember, I did say 3 times in the oven, so this will be my third and final time that it is going into the oven at the same temperature for another final 10 minutes with the sauce on this side. So you guys saw my picture earlier in the video, in the beginning of the video, where I did have some sesame seeds and some green onions that's kind of chopped up on top of it, and the little white chunks that are a little bit larger are just minced onions, dried minced onions. So if you guys want to do that, you can do that as well. I hope you guys liked this recipe. If you did, please hit that subscribe button, like it and share it. And until the next meal, thank you for watching. Watch me cook.